good morning, good evening, good afternoon. Welcome to day 20 of my dad's letters that he wrote in 1999. My name's Kevin, I'm Jimmy's son. Thank you for looking in or adding me or subscribing or whatever you have to do on YouTube. It's Monday today, and sorry if this is a few minutes late. I normally publish it at midnight, but I'm going to do it obviously this morning today. There were several areas that Jimmy covered today. One was peers, and a little bit about that in a moment. Red wine came into the news. He had some views about the emerging music trend of listening music through headphones. And lastly, about farmers, which is a bit topical at the moment in 2025. So the peers news of that time was apparently Tony Blair's government only been in power for 2 years at that point. We're going to have sort of people's peers, in other words, lay people appointed. And it was all a little bit revolving around the abolition of the Lords. So there was some talk about whether we would have lay peers, and Jimmy was sort of citing, we'll have the sort of dinner lady from Crewe who have to go off at 3:45 to do her road crossing patrol, or some train driver who says, well, I can only stay till lunchtime because I've got to get into the 1:45 to Exeter. So he was just bemused by a bit the fact that actually lay people may not be the best people, and if you have older people, then there won't be a lot different than the, in his words, old and doddery people that are there now. So my apologies to any peers who might watch. But so that was something. He then discovered that red wine drinking apparently yet again was seen as good for you. So a sort of modest amount of red wine over time can give you a healthy heart. So he was quite pleased about that. On the music front, he was talking about, I think we'd had Walkmans and stereos in 1999, but I think there was this merging trend of children and young adults and teenagers having music on all the time, wherever they are in their ears, and he was just a bit concerned at the effect that might have. And I suppose it's been a bit overtaken by mobile phones now, although I don't know about you, but I've seen lots of people walking around town now with fairly big headphones on and clearly in a world of their own, and I know some folks like to just need that sort of de-stress from the noise around them, but whether it's being played loudly or softly, he was a bit concerned about that. And lastly, his PS at the end. I'm going to quote word for word. Now, if you're a farmer, please don't hit me. If you're supporting farmers, please don't hit me. If you're someone who thinks the inheritance tax, which at the moment is that farmers will have to pay up a little bit. Hitherto they've had an exemption from paying inheritance tax, and now are a little bit upset at paying some. So this is what he has to say: the price of potatoes are going up. A lot of wet weather recently is blamed. At least the poor farmers have usually got a Rolls Royce to keep them dry. I expect some kids are saying to their mums, not to worry, mum, we'll have chips instead. So a little bit of a jibe at farmers there, and the lack of knowledge to some children who wouldn't know the difference between a chip and a potato. Anyway, that was it for today, 20th of January 1999. You take care, and there you go. Bye.